While Steam is by far the most popular PC games platform in the entire world, it is not the only one. Another one is GOG, which you might use because you like DRM games, maybe you like older games. For whatever reason, GOG is also really, really popular. Now, back in December of last year, GOG was acquired by a new owner, an old owner, the original co-founder of the project. Then in January of this year, the co-founder and managing director did an interview with PC Gamer, basically just trashing Windows. I asked the new owner and managing director if the storefront had much interest in the ongoing backlash against Windows and gamers' embrace, however small, of Linux. I got two answers. The first from the managing director was straightforward. Yes, we are. In fact, GOG has made Linux one of the things we put in our strategy for this year to look closer at. Alas, that's pretty much all the detail he's willing to give. I don't want to commit to any specifics, but certainly you'll see this trend, and we also see that Linux is close to the heart of our users, so we probably could do better on that front, and that's something that we'll be looking at. As for the new owner, the co-founder, the old owner, his answer was a little bit more cathartic. I'm really surprised at Windows, he said. It's such poor quality software and product, and I'm so surprised that it spent so many years on the market. I can't believe it. Just about 2 weeks later in that same month of January, something was spotted on their website. A job listing for a senior software engineer involving Linux. Linux is the next major frontier, but a lot more importantly, one of the responsibilities. Build and maintain GOG Galaxy on Linux, GOG Galaxy being their client, while collaborating on cross-platform solutions, Windows and macOS. This is something which has been discussed for a very, very long time, bringing the client over to Linux. Now, with GOG, you don't need to use the client. Like, the games don't have DRM. They're not locked to the client. It's just the client makes things convenient, right? Like, you can browse the store, you can have all your games in one place, you can link your account, do all the fun client things you need. Not required. We live without it right now, but it would be very nice. This right here was back in January. Let's go back a couple of weeks from where we are right now. GOG confirm they are working towards GOG Galaxy on Linux. While GOG do support Linux from the web store, as they offer Linux downloads for games that support Linux, GOG Galaxy itself has been missing since the initial release. Eventually that should change, as we have some positive news to share on that. Speaking to GOG over email, Gaming on Linux got a response from the joint CEO who said, "Linux continues to be one of the topics we hear about most from our community, and we really appreciate the passion and patience of everyone who's been asking about it. Following the role we announced earlier this year, that being the job listing I showed here, we now have the specialist on board and are actively exploring the best approach to Linux support for GOG Galaxy. This is a significant undertaking, so while we're not ready to share any specific plans, timelines, or results just yet, it's very much an area we're investing time and effort into. We're excited about the possibilities and will be happy to share more when the time is right. Hopefully, it won't take too long." Whilst this is really, really cool, and actually having another major game platform have a client on Linux would be a big jump, right? Because we have Steam, and Steam's what most people use. But we don't have an official client from Epic Games. We don't have official support for, like any other client. For most things, we use third-party clients, or they tend to just work well enough in Wine for, the EA launcher and various other things like that. But having that official first-party support, even if it's not the main thing people use, having that there shows that the company is committed to, at the very least, support the platform. But until the day that something is sitting directly in front of me, the day that I can install it, the day that I can download it, I wouldn't put a ton of stock into this. Let me show you another article from Gaming on Linux, this one from 9 years ago. GOG staff state the Galaxy for Linux is being worked on, but still no ETA. This is 9 years ago on the same news site and the same thing is being said. Something's being worked on. We don't know when it's going to happen. Good luck. At the very least, okay, I'll give them something this time. At the very least, they hired a guy. Okay, that's doing better than last time. But I wouldn't expect to see this anytime soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if a decade from now, we're seeing the exact same thing happen once again. Of course, we're now dealing with different old but new owners, so maybe it's gonna be different. I just, I don't have a ton of hope until I can actually see it. Now, this idea of Galaxy for Linux, this is something that people have wanted for a very, very long time. If we go over to the community wish list, this is most voted this week. Release the GOG Galaxy client for Linux. Release GOG Galaxy 2.0 for Linux. Release GOG Galaxy 3.0 for Linux. Some of these probably should be collapsed down into a single thing. Yeah, but they're not. So, you know, if we go most voted ever, it's basically the exact same list. We still have released the GOG Galaxy client for Linux as the most popular thing that has ever been suggested. Not just barely most popular. Double the next option. The next option is the same thing. There are other ones here which are quite popular as well, which would make sense at the same time, you know, open sourcing the client. That would be cool, but like, frankly, it's not really that important. I don't like that Steam is not open sourced. Is it stopping me using Steam? No. Would I prefer it to be open source? Yes. Would it make sense for a platform like GOG, which has this whole, like, no DRM thing? It would make sense. Am I gonna sit here and complain about it all day, though? Nah, not really. This one here, this is a lot more important. Whilst we currently don't have the official client for Linux, it's not like we just don't have any clients whatsoever. Again, you don't need a client, but if you want one, there are things like the Heroic Games launcher. This isn't just for GOG. This is for Amazon and Epic Games as well. This is quite a popular option. It's packaged in most places. There's a flat pack as well. This is quite a popular choice. If you want something where it's kind of just a mix of everything, Lutris. Lutris, you can bring in GOG games, you can bring in literally anything gaming related, even not gaming related. It's just like a general wine management tool. Lutris is incredibly popular. If you want something specifically about GOG, there is Mini Galaxy. This is a very simple, but client specifically for GOG. I'm not a big fan of it because it's obviously a GTK application, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Then there are just general good tools as well, like bottles, or you can just configure wine directly if you're playing Windows games, or just, you know, again, you don't need a client, you don't need a collection, it's just nice and convenient. Now, one thing I will say is, whilst there are native games on GOG, one of the suggestions here I think is incredibly important. This is under most voted this week. Use Proton to let us play games on Linux. If they are going to actually release a client for Linux, I don't just want to see a client. All of these Linux-first software are built around the fact that, you know, you're on Linux. You're going to be using Proton. You're going to be using Wine. Most of the games you want to play are not Linux native games. If all they do is release a client where, oh, you can download your games on GOG, like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. But, like, what does it do that's better than just the website? If they're actually going to do this, if they are actually going to release a proper client for Linux, I want them to integrate that tooling, integrate Proton, integrate Wine, let us go and select different versions, load in different versions, all of these things which you expect to be there if you're gaming on Linux. If that part is not there, honestly, the whole endeavor is kinda just worthless. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm wrong. That's where I stand. Honestly, I hope it actually does come out, because then we're gonna have to stop hearing about it not coming out every so often, and, maybe to encourage other companies to do the same. You have GOG, you have Steam. Maybe, even though they're not going to do it with Fortnite, maybe Epic brings their client over. Finding out about this just for go to upload this, turns out that actually might be happening. We don't really know when, but it seems like it might be in the works. Maybe someone else does it. Maybe, we start seeing a lot of these game launchers actually having native support. Like, yeah, we do have the Minecraft launcher, and we are going to have official support from RuneScape, but maybe we'll start to see others. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, if you like the video, go like the video, go subscribe as well. If you're on mobile, go hype the video. And if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to Liberapay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and GOG, 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 GOG.